dito na tayo sa profitability ratio. Sabi diyan, profitability ratios provide a measure of the performance of the business in terms of its ability to generate profits from its resources. So, yun ang sinusukat dito, class, kung paano yung business na nagge-generate ng profit dun sa mga resources na ginagamit. Siyempre, yung cash, yung materyales, yung labor, yung mga equipment. So, yan. So, una, gross profit ratio shows the relationship between sales and cost of goods sold. So, yung sales, siyempre, yun yung pinagbentahan mo. Then, yung cost of goods sold, ito yung mga nagastos mo para ma-produce mo yung mga produkto na ibebenta mo. So, ang formula sa gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by net sales. Yan. Letter B, net profit ratio. So, measure profitability after considering all income and expenses. So, sa net profit ratio, class, pag sinabing net profit, ito na talaga yung kinita mo. Nabawas na yung mga lahat ng expenses sa income mo. So, yon. Ang formula niya, net profit ratio is equal to profit for the year over net sales. Yan. Then, return on asset. Measure the profit generated in relation to the total resources available to the business. So, syempre, yung mga materyales mo, inventory mo yan asset yun, di ba? Then, yung equipment para mag-produce ng makina, asset mo yun, class. Equipment, PPE. Then, syempre, yung pera, cash, asset yun. Syempre, bibili ka, di ba? So, sinasabi dyan, return on asset. Kailan babalik yon? Di ba? Measure the profit generated in relation to total resources available to the business. Kailan uli makakabalik? Syempre, pag nakakolekta ka na based dun sa mga nabenta mo, magkakaroon ka na naman ng cash. Bibili ka na naman ng materyales. Tapos, magpapasweldo ka na naman ng mga tao. Ngayon, yung mga makina mo, pwede mong, kung may konting sira, papaayos mo para tumagal-tagal yung life ng machine o ng equipment. So, yung ganon. So, ang formula, return on asset is equal to profit for the year over total asset. Yan. Class, tandaan nyo yung mga formula. Mamaya meron tayong illustration dyan. Then, D, return on equity. Kumbaga, return on net asset. When we say net asset, kasi return on equity, asset minus liabilities is equal to equity. Yan. Measure the profit generated in relation to the resources invested by or attributable to the owner of the business. O yan. Tignan natin ang formula. Ang formula is return on equity is equal to profit for the year over total equity. Mamaya class, pag meron pa kayong hindi naintindihan, dun sa natin, sa mga illustration, yung mga answer, meron dong interpretation kung anong dahilan. Yan. Next, eto na ang illustration natin, class. So, illustration, financial ratio analysis. So, kinuha natin yung ABM company, financial statements, dun sa previous na pinag-aralan natin. So, ito yung detalye ng ating kukumpyutan ng mga ratios. Ayan, for our analysis. So, ABM Company, balance sheet as of December 31, 2019 and 2018. So, ayan. So, yan yung mga values, ha. Tandaan nyo yan. Yan yung values. Kasi, kukunan natin yan ng mga ratios, computation. Then, sa liabilities naman, accounts payable, ayan, andyan lahat. Liabilities, equity. So, pareho lang siya ng total liabilities and equity sa total asset. Yan. So, yun ang details ng liabilities and equity class ha. Tandaan nyo yan. Ayan yun. Yan ang magiging basehan natin sa pag-compute ng mga ratios for analysis and interpretation. Then, sa income statement naman, ABM Company, income statement for the year ended December 31, 2019. So, dito sa income statement, 2019 lang yung basis of computation. Yan. Then, sa sales, sabi dyan, yung credit sale is 3,200,000. So, ibig sabihin, yung 800,000, binayaran nyo ng cash. Itong 3,200,000, inutang. So, pasok siya sa account receivable, itong amount na 3,200. So, yan yung cost of sales niya, mga nagasto sa pag-produce ng mga produkto. Then, gross profit, 2,600,000. Then, ito na yung mga expenses. Yan. Negative. Then, profit for the year, 1,196,000. So, yan yung details na kukumpita ng mga ratios natin and interpretation. Yung balance sheet, tsaka income statement ng ABM Company. So, ito na yung requirement. Compute for the following financial ratios in 2019. So, una, current ratio. Pangalawa, quick ratio. Pangatlo, working capital, inventory turnover, days of inventory, average sales period, account receivable turnover, days of receivable, average collection period, debt ratio, debt to asset ratio, equity ratio, debt to equity ratio, debt to equity ratio. Ayan. Then, gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, return on asset, return on equity, or return on net asset. So, ito na class solution. Una, sabi dyan, current ratio ang hinahanap. So, sa current ratio, current asset is equal to current liabilities. O, ano ang total mo ng current asset mo, di ba? Ang current asset mo, ang total niya is 2,250,000, di ba? So, balik tayo doon. So, 2,250,000 over current liabilities. Magkano yung current liabilities natin? Balik tayo doon. Ayan. Ang current liabilities is 1,160,000. Diba? Yan. 1,160,000. So, ang current ratio is 1.94. So, ang interpretation class dyan, the current ratio means that the business has 1 peso and 94 centavos current asset for every 1 peso of current liability. Ayan. Naintindihan ba, class? Yan. Ibig sabihin, kayang-kaya mong bayaran yung utang mo by this. Almost 2 beses mo kayang bayaran yung utang mo sa pamamagitan ng current asset. Ayan. Naintindihan ba, class? Yun ang ibig sabihin niya. Letter B, solution. Quick ratio. Ang formula, quick ratio is equal to cash plus marketable securities plus account receivable net. Kumbaga, when we say account receivable net, bawas na yung bad debts o yung allowance for doubtful accounts, yung hindi mo na makolekta over current liabilities. So, sa quick ratio, ayan, magkano ba yung cash noong 2019? Di ba 30,000? Yung cash balance sa balance sheet. Ayan, 30,000. Then, marketable securities, wala naman, di ba? Account receivable meron. Ang account receivable is 1,672,000 divided by current asset of 1,160,000. Balik tayo doon, class. Ayan. Ayan. So, yung cash balance na 30,000, wala ka naman marketable securities, plus yung account receivable net, 1,672,000 divided by current liabilities of 1,160,000. So, ang quick ratio mo ay 1.47. Ang interpretation, the quick ratio means that the business has 1.47 quick funds on hand for every 1 peso of a current liability. So, kayang-kaya mo pa rin bayaran, di ba? Kasi, halimbawa, sarahan na ng business. So, dahil meron kang account receivable, meron kang cash, kaya mong bayaran yung utang mo. Ha? Halos isa't kalahati. 147 eh. 1.47 eh. Kumbaga, 1:1.47 ang ratio. Yan. Then, sa letter C, working capital. Ang working capital class, ang formula is current asset minus current liabilities. So, sabi dyan, yung working capital, kumbaga ito ay pertaining sa owner. So, yung current asset mo ay 2,250,000 minus current liabilities 1,160,000. So, yung working capital mo ay 1,190,000. Sabi dyan, the business has positive working capital. Example, current asset greater than current liabilities. So, positive, ano daw siya? Positive working capital. Next, inventory turnover. Cost of goods sold over average inventory. Siyempre, bago makuha yung average inventory, kunin mo muna yung formula ng average inventory. Inventory beginning plus inventory end. Tingnan natin kung saan niya nakuha. Ayan, yung 500 beginning at yung 300 ending. So, sa balance sheet pa rin yan. So, sa part ng inventory, ayan yung beginning 300,000. Kasi kung ano yung ending mo nung last year, magiging beginning mo this year. So, eto yung beginning mo, 300,000 plus yung ending mo, 500,000. So, balik tayo dun sa formula. Ayan. So, yung beginning mo, tsaka ending, ipa-plus mo, plus 2. Ayan. Ay, plus 2, divided by 2. So, ang average inventory mo ay 400,000. So, the result above means that the business was able to sell and replenish an inventory level of 400,000. Kumbaga, 3.5 times during the period. So, kumbaga ay, ayan, 3.5 times. Dito sa inventory turnover. Kasi yung cost of goods sold mo, ito yung mga nagastos mo sa pagpuproduce ng mga produkto na ibebenta mo. Ayan. Then dito, pinakita lang yung 400 as your average inventory. Ayan. Plus. Then, days of inventory. 365 days in a year divided by inventory turnover. So, ano ba yung inventory turnover mo, class? Tignan natin. 3.5. So, 365 days in a year divided by 3.5. So, days of inventory mo is equal to 104.29 days. Interpretation. The result above means inventory is held 104.29 days before it is sold. Kumbaga, yung halimbawa, nag-produce ka ngayon, yung pinroduce mo, yung mga na-produce mo, mauubos yan within 104.29 days. Ayan. Intindihan ba, class? Kasi kung hindi naman mabebenta, wala kang kikitain. Yan. Then, solution, letter F, account receivable turnover. Credit sale divided by average account receivable. Siyempre, kunin mo muna yung account receivable mo. Ang account receivable mo is 1,672,000 plus 304,000 divided by 2. So, ang average account receivable mo is 998. So, ito yun, 998. Ang credit sale mo na 3,200,000, ito yung pinautang mo, collectibles mo. Mga nabenta mo na inutang, 3,200,000 divided by average inventory, average account receivable, 988. So, account receivable turnover mo, 3.24. Ang interpretation, the result above means that the business was able to generate and collect an account receivable level of 988,000, 3.24 times during the period. So, yung 988,000 daw, 3 beses mo makukolekta sa loob ng isang period. Class, tuloy tayo. Letter G, days of receivable. Ibig sabihin yan, kung hanggang kailan natin makukolekta yung ating mga collectibles. So, days of receivable is equal to 365 days in a year over account receivable turnover. So, 365 divided by 3.24, yung last page na na-compute natin sa account receivable turnover. So, days of receivable is equal to 112.65 days. Interpretation. The result above means that it takes 112.65 days to collect an account receivable. Ayan. So, yun. Next, letter H. Debt ratio is equal to total liabilities over total asset. So, 1,340,000 yung total, 1,340,000 yung total liabilities divided by total asset of 3,030,000. So, yung ratio ng utang mo ay 0.44 over asset. Yan. Kumbaga, 44% lang siya sa total asset. Yung 56% sa liability, sa ano yun, sa equity. Yan. Interpretation. The result above means that for every 1 peso of an asset is equal to 0.44 centavos pertain to creditors. So, liabilities sa mga pinagkakautangan mo. Or 44% of the total asset pertain to creditors. Ayan. Next, equity ratio naman. Sa equity ratio, total equity over total asset. So, equity ratio is equal to 1,690,000 divided by 3,030,000. So, yung equity ratio mo is 0.56. Ayan. Interpretation. The result above means that for every 1 peso of an asset is equal to 0.56 centavos pertain to owner, or 56% of the total asset pertain to the owner. Yan. So, syempre, yung asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Yung liabilities mo, 0.44. Syempre, yung equity mo is 0.56. Kasi ang asset is 100%. Ayan. Then, letter J, debt to equity ratio is equal to total liabilities over total equity. So, is equal 1,340,000 total liabilities divided by 1,690,000 total equity. So, debt to equity ratio is equal to 0.79. So, ang interpretation niyo dyan, the result above means that for every 0.79 finance through debt, there is a corresponding 1 peso that is financed through equity. This indicates that the business relies more on equity financing than on debt financing. Siyempre, mas malaki yung equity kaysa sa liabilities. Ayan. Dito sa sa problem na to or solution na to. Next, letter K, gross profit ratio. Gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by net sale. So, yung sales mo, di ba, 4 million. Then, yung gross profit mo, 2,600,000. Kasi sales minus cost of goods sold is equal to gross profit. Ayan. So, yung gross profit ratio mo is equal to 0.65. Ang interpretation, the result above means that for every 1 peso sale, 0.65 centavos gross profit is earned. Kumbaga, kung sa piso na nabenta mo, yung 65 centavos mo doon, gross profit mo na. Kita mo na. Pero, leles mo pa siyempre dyan yung mga expenses. Siyempre, may ratio din yon, di ba? Hindi yung buong total expenses. Halimbawa, doon sa salaries expenses mo, 0.3 lang. Di ba? Per single item. Ayan. Next, net profit ratio. Profit for the year divided by net sales. So, net profit is equal to yung profit mo, 1,196,000 divided by 4 million yung sales mo. So, net profit ratio mo is 0.30. Sabi dyan, interpretation, the result above means that for every 1 peso sale, 30 centavos net profit is earned. So, sabi dyan, kapag nakabenta ka ng piso, 30 centavos, tubo mo na. Tubo mo na yon. Kumaga, na-less na lahat ng expenses. Then, return on asset is equal to profit for the year divided by total asset. So, return on asset is 1,196,000 divided by 3,030,000. So, return on asset mo is 0.39. Interpretation, the result above means that the business is able to generate profit 0.39 centavos for every 1 peso of its total resources or total asset. So, dun sa total asset mo, lahat-lahat, kikita ka ng 0.39 centavos. Sa piso lang Dito na tayo sa last letter N, return on equity is equal to profit for the year divided by total equity. So, yung return on equity mo, ang profit for the year, 1,196,000 divided by total equity of 1,690,000. So, meron kang return on equity na 0.71 centavos. Interpretation, the result above means that the business is able to generate a profit of 71 centavos for every 1 peso of owner's equity. Ayan. Kumbaga, sabi diyan sa piso ng equity mo, may kikita ng 0.71 centavos. Ayan. Okay, tapos na po tayo. Mga bata, sana pag-aralan nyo maigi at makakatulong to sa inyo. Sana patuloy lang kayong manood ng mga videos natin at mag-subscribe kayo at i-share nyo sa mga classmate nyo yung ating lesson para meron din silang option para pag-aralan. Bukod sa tinuturo sa klase, meron din kayong ganito na libre naman para makita nyo, mabasa, mapag-aralan. Kaya maraming salamat. Bye-bye! Class, sa wakas natapos natin yung chapter 5. Ayan, susunod natin yung chapter 6. Ang title niya ay Accounting Books, Journal and Ledger. So, abangan nyo yung chapter 6 sa class ha. Ayan, tatapusin natin yung libro na yan. Bali yung book 2 at saka yung book 1. Kaya salamat class sa inyong panonood. Salamat, bye-bye!